Congrats, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Joining us from Syracuse, head coach Felicia Leggett-Jack, student athletes Deasia Fair and Kennedy Perkins. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for the student athletes first. Please state your name and affiliation and wait for the microphone. Coach.
Oh my goodness. It's 22 stairs, and I have not got myself back in shape, and I felt every single one of those stairs. To God be the glory that you all had a chance to witness a really good women's basketball game. That's happening all over the country. Women's basketball is right now. It's right now. And my hope is that everyone grab a hold to it and really just honor what we do, honor the work ethic that we have, honor how hard we play. Arizona's an incredible team. You know, 7, 8 players. It felt like 19 of them out there. They just left it on the line. They wanted it for their story. But I have to give credit to my young ladies because we have a story too, and we're representing something bigger than ourselves. When our chancellor comes all the way from New York to be a part of witnessing what we do, he and his beautiful wife, we have to leave it on the line. Director of Athletics, John Wowhack, every chance I can thank him for this opportunity, I want to. Thank you, John, for giving me this opportunity, and we're going to continue to work hard to make you proud.
We'll go for questions for the student athletes. Please wait for the microphone. State your name and affiliation. We'll start right here up front. Griffin.
Griffin Delapenna, Syracuse, Newhouse, Deasia. You go down with that injury at the end of the third quarter and then a historic run for you in the fourth. What's going through your mind throughout that entire sequence?
I was just hoping that it wasn't anything, serious. Of course, at first, when stuff like that happens, you think the worst. And at first, it was just overwhelming. But I knew once I felt good or I knew I was able to go, in the back of my mind, my team is still counting on me. If I can go, I'm going to go. I'm counting on me, and so is everyone that's watching and my family. So that was the mindset to get back out there.
Question, fourth row on the right here.
Deasia, Justin Gershon, the Daily Orange. The other day you texted Coach Jack asking her if you could have this last dance. And in order to keep dancing, you had a historic run there in the fourth quarter. What was it like going through that, and what was your mindset heading into that stretch where you guys were down 4?
I think, we've been there before. And when you have experience, you know what it takes to win, and you know what it takes to, have success. So I think, the scorer that I am and the confidence that I have and the confidence that my teammates and coaching staff, instill in me all throughout the year is just, keep going. It's just keep going and, trust your work.
Question up front on the left.
KP, Josh Crawford, 247. This is not the first time you've been a critical, second half punch, for this team. What about your game and about this team allows you to be so clutch in critical moments, plus 13 in 22 minutes?
I think just staying ready whenever my name is called. I saw that we were down. We needed some points. I didn't want to go home, and I knew my teammates didn't want to go home, so I did what I needed to do to continue this journey that we have.
We'll go to Jim, third row on the left.
Jim Fuller, Associated Press. When you come back on the court, the crowd goes nuts. Can you just run me through the energy it gives you and the team that you got the support, and they were really, giving you a huge cheer when you came back on the court?
Yeah, to hear that it was warming, I think, with it being my last few games with this team, it was a warming thing, and in my mind, it's time to go. It's go time. So get back out there and get it done.
Stay right here, behind him on the left there.
Deasia, when that play happened at the end of the third quarter, what happened, and what did you feel? Was it like bang knees, or what was it?
I think it was probably, I twisted it and then landed on it, I think. And like I said before, it was like an overwhelming thing at first. You don't know what, you don't know what you don't know. So I just, prayed that it wasn't anything serious. But it wasn't, and I'm good.
Feels okay now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Question in the back right.
Mario Sacco, WSOR TV. Deasia and Kenny, what changed in the second half, especially that fourth quarter defensively? You guys were able to force turnovers and kind of got after them.
So during halftime, we got a talk from Coach. And we just took everything she said to us. We came out more aggressive. We stopped them from scoring. We played our game. The first half, we didn't really play our game. We were attempting. We were almost there. But second half, we started to play our game, and it started to translate on defense and offense.
Right here, Alexa on the right-hand side, second row.
Alexa Philippou, ESPN. Deasia, you had 6 steals. I think that's a Syracuse program record for NCAA tournament game. How did your defense in particular fuel your offense and just fuel this comeback in general?
Whoa. I didn't know that. I didn't even look at that. But I think, my quickness is kind of what we feed off of, me just going and going and going and being able to get up under those passes or whatever and, get my team going. And, that's the type of game we like to play. We like to go and transition, and we like to go pretty fast sometimes. I think that's kind of what helped us get on a run, and then, it built energy for us and gave us the momentum. So.
Right here, right-hand side of the aisle, third row.
Cooper Andrews with the Daily Orange. Kennedy, as soon as you stepped on the court, you never left. Playing 23 minutes today. What has it been like for you to kind of battle through minutes down the stretch here among your other teammates? And, what was different about today's performance for you?
When you're trying to accomplish something like making it to the Final Four and winning a national championship, you don't focus on, the past when you're right here. So I wasn't focused on my minutes before. I was focused on what I had to do in today's game to help my team. So that's what I did.
Up front on the left.
Coach Jack, this one's a two-parter for me.
Student athletes first.
Say it again.
Student athletes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, Deasia, with your 6 steals, Coach Jack made a decision to go zone in the middle of that third quarter. What kind of confidence did y'all have on defense that she could make a sudden change like that?
We know what our strengths are and what their weaknesses were. So once we were able to recognize those at that moment, it was the best decision for us.
We'll go to Jim on the left right here.
Jim Fuller, Associated Press. Kennedy, you've seen this before, the girl sitting next to you. Just run me through what the team thinks when she gets in that zone where she's getting the ball and she's scoring on every possession.
Oh, we love it. We know when she's cooking, give her the ball. We'll rebound, we'll get her open if we need to, but when Deasia gets going, who can stop her?
We got time for 2 more right here on the right.
Kennedy, sort of building off that, how does your play style really complement Deasia's, and how does that sort of 1-2 punch really, create a different element for this team?
Since Deasia's a 3-level scorer and I'm more aggressive and I attack, I feel like once they go out to her or when she's driving and she kicks it to me, they're not ready for me to either do a pull-up or attack them back where she just came from. So that's how we play off of each other, and it's been working.
The last question here on the left, fourth row.
Deasia, at the end of the game, your teammates are hugging each other, coming off the court together, and you were sort of like walking off alone, and it was hard to see what you were feeling. Can you take me through what you were sort of thinking in that moment?
Oh, well, I think I was trying to get up off the floor, I think, and realize, we actually won the game. But as I walked back, I'm trying to, take it all in, be where my feet are and kind of think about what's next, and kind of just, celebrate myself in a way. And I have a weird way of showing a lot of things. It's, like you said, you don't know, but it's just me,
Deasia, Kennedy, thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Questions for Coach, right here in the front. Griffin.
Coach, there's been so many second-half comebacks throughout this season when it's tied up going into the fourth quarter. What's your confidence level at that point in time?
This is a team that makes me believe that it's never over until the last horn sound. Even that last game, we played over an ACC tournament. I thought we had a chance to win that one as well, but we dug ourselves too deep of a hole. But I just love the resilience of these young ladies. I love that they listen to me and hear my crazy stories, and my stories actually motivate them to become something different than what they believe they can be, and it takes them a little bit higher. I'm just excited about moving forward with us, and love to start off faster. But if it doesn't happen at the beginning, let it happen at the end.
We have 2 questions in the 4th row on the right here. Start right there.
Coach, obviously you've watched a lot of DH Fair basketball over the last 5 years. Where does this moment rank in terms of everything that you've watched?
It's all great, The moments with her, the greatest moments is off the basketball court. The greatest moment is when things don't go well and we try to figure out how to make it go well, and when you don't have an answer and when wrong happens for no reason at all, and we try to figure it out together, and we did by just waking up the next morning and realizing that we survived it. Those are the times that really matter the most. These games here are fun for a family, fun for the fans, it's fun for you guys, but the biggest blessing and moments that she and I had together, it didn't touch the basketball court. It was helping her through the toughest times, the thing called life.
We'll stay right here, 4th row on the right.
Coach, you talked a little bit yesterday about how Kennedy had earned a little bit more playing time over the past, few weeks of practice. How do you feel that she set herself apart from maybe some other backup guards in that spot, and what propelled you to put her in today in that moment?
She just, I love that song. I have some great assistant coaches. They don't get enough credit. Sue Ludwig, Kristen Sharkey, Kyrie Carter, Stephen Gilbert, and Amber Moore, Matt. And I got to call my husband one of my assistants too because he's been with us all season. They really make decisions for us. We talk about things in practice and now in the war room we call it. And when it's time to make some decisions and sub people in, they say it's time. And they've watched and witnessed the young ladies in practice who has earned the right to be on that court. Nothing's given. She's earned every single minute. I mean, 2 days of practice, we went after it after we lost that tournament, and we pushed them, and she got real comfortable with that trash can. And she really didn't stop there. She just, give me one more second, and she'd get back out there and play. And she has left it out there, and she's earned every minute. And there's no question if it was for her or not. She earned those minutes. Our coaches said it. We all believe it, and she got out there and proved us all right.
We'll go back 1 more row on the right there.
Tyler Aiken, Z89. So, Coach, when Deasia was in the locker room, you're not sure if she's going to return. What's the game plan for the last 10 minutes? Because she had provided a huge bulk of your scoring until that point.
We just, it's going to be a time when she's not going to come in that locker room, right? And it's going to be a time when it's right now. It could be right now. Her legacy begins right now. And that's the conversation we had with our team. Who's willing to jump in those shoes? It might be all of us have to go in at the same time. Small feet, big shoes. And I looked at my 5 that was getting ready to sub in, all the players that was out there. They never blinked like, what are we going to do? They didn't say, about time. They didn't look like that either. They looked like they were just locked on ready. And all that she has done, we had the responsibility to pour out. Whatever that would have been, it would have been. But I thought that those 5 that were ready to sub in, that subbed in, we managed that score, if you notice, for the first 2.5 minutes. And then when Deasia came in, she just she took it over like she always do. But I just like what we're building here, and I think that the future's in good hands.
2nd row on the right, Alexa.
Alexa Philippou, ESPN. Coach, we heard a little bit about your halftime speech, and it sounded like it was very passionate. Can you elaborate on what you said and what your message was for the team to go back to playing its style of basketball?
Well, I just really just share with them that it comes a time when you're going to feel like you're on this island by yourself and nobody's there to save you. You have to talk to people that can make some decisions for you out there, and they're going to be like deaf ear. And that's when you have to dig and you got to find your sister, because that's the only one that's going to hear you, believe in you, and really honor what you're saying. So lock into family. It's just go time. And we said it, we probably threw a couple other words in there, but that's kind of the message.
Front row on the left.
Coach Jack, me and my colleague both noticed, despite you all not taking the lead to the fourth quarter, your team was more composed and had better body language than Arizona throughout. How rewarding is it for you as a coach and an educator to see those lessons that you pour in to the young women to come out at such a critical time and it be a continued theme of your season?
I'm so proud of this team from what they've been through. I just, sometimes he just bless you even when you probably don't deserve it. And what we've been through earlier in the season, to see the composure of these young people, to see the fight, to see the communication, to see the silly laughs, when I tell them to be quiet. They just became a family. Everybody throw that word out, family. This is a family for real. And one thing that they knew is that I already got warned, and so I couldn't put myself into that emotional state. And I got a call, an email from one of the best coaches at Syracuse, Kayla. She's the head coach for the women's lacrosse team. And she said, Coach, there's going to come a time when you're just going to have to stay calm, and you got to let them be. And when I got warned, that's the only thing I thought about is those words that she wrote me on those papers, on that email. And I took her advice, and I allowed them to lead, and they proved us right once again. Like, these ladies are ready to do something way more big than just this game or the next game or the next game, whatever it is going to be. They're preparing themselves for life, and I'm just a witness. I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Fifth row, right-hand side in the middle.
Andrew Delpiana, Citrus TV. Coach, what can you say about your big men and their presence today and those offensive boards really keeping you guys in this game?
Our big players were really special. I love that Izza is back, and she's still got to get her cardio together, but she composes everybody. She talks a lot on the bench, and somebody subs out, she's the one touching their knee and saying, even I sat next to her, and she grabbed my knee, and she made me feel calm. I mean, she can be a coach. She's a special young lady, and my hope is to get her back next year. I just like Kyra was dead tired, and Deasia was like, she can't sub out, and Kyra said, I'm okay, and it's just they knew that they were needed, and they just showed up. Alyssa Latham, that rookie, she played the top of the zone, the back of the zone. She got beat, she came back, and she got a block on the back end. I mean, Sanaya didn't play the best minutes she could have, but she showed up. Sophie did a great job on defensive side of the ball, hit that big-time three. We can say something good about all of them, and not just bigs, but guards and two. And this is a special group, and my hope is that we continue to show our special light every time we get a chance to get on that court.
Fourth row on the left.
Felicia, if you're willing, what did Deasia say to you as she sort of made the walk back up and you high-fived her after she came back to the bench? And what were your thoughts when she went down? It looked like it would have been such an unfair ending.
I said, when she was down, I said, hey, you can't be crying. No crying. There's too many cameras on you. She said, give me a towel then. And then she, when you say something fun like that to them, the tears go away. Now we get focused on really what's the pain like. And that's what I try to do. I try to get them to think about something different. And then when she came to the bench and I looked at her, and she said, Coach, 2 words, I'm good. I smacked her hand so hard I might have broke her arm. I'm like, yeah. And so when that's a fourth quarter kid and she says I'm good, you say, who's coming out? Coach Casey made the call and got that right person in. I think that we had to get Elaine out that time, and we were able to make some decisions with that, and she came through. She's a special young lady.
Fourth row on the right.
Coach, in the first quarter, Deasia only took 2 shots from the field, but then, as the game progressed, I think she ended with like 22-ish.
Mm-hmm.
What was the difference in getting her the ball more, and what sort of changed offensively?
You got to read the defense. That's a great defensive team we played against. That team, that Stickum defense, that's where that name came from. Because when I tell you those young ladies know how to play defense and how to coach that defensive side of the ball, we had to figure out how to get her open. We had to figure out when you get open, who's guarding you, what kind of kid's guarding you. Is it a small kid? We got an opportunity to score. Is it number 13 who's is handsy? And so we had to discern what was the right opportunity for her to be in attack mode. And so we just, let's make that pass. Let's make that pass. Then when she started feeling good about, I see what they're doing right now, that high IQ that she has, all right, we just go call some plays for her now. And that's what we ended up doing. So it's a pretty special young lady.
Last question right here on the left.
Ethan Frank, WJPZ. Coach, you talked about, going through some struggles earlier in the game, and Kennedy mentioned what you're talking about with turnovers at halftime as well. When you guys are turning the ball over and free throws aren't going down, what are your messages to the team? How are you encouraging them to keep moving forward despite things not going their way on things they can control?
Well, the first thing I needed to be encouraged, because I was like, what are we doing? Are we throwing this game or what? I mean, and my coaches were like, we got this, next play. What's the next play? And they kept me thinking about next play stuff. And we can't control what we can't control. Whether the ball goes in or not, we can defend. And so we decided that we're going to stretch our defense a little bit and then, stick with those guys and bring them back into the zone and give us an opportunity to shorten the game up a little bit, because we thought that, they were getting a little bit tired. And we decided to do that. And, I tell you, no one gets to the top by themselves. And I tell you, I hope I can keep my staff a long time. They're ready to be something special. And I just hope that we can continue to stay as long as we can this season, because I know that they're ready to go out there and do some fantastic things. I can't thank you guys enough for loving women's basketball. I can't thank you enough for supporting women's basketball. Stay with women's basketball. It's the sport that everybody's going to be willing and ready to embrace moving forward. It's happening all over the world, and it's because of you guys are promoting it and sharing the word. So thank you for all you do for women's basketball.